For as long as I can remember, the Camaro has been my favorite car. It all started when my parents were buying Chevys at the dealership, and while they were filling out the paperwork, I was staring at a 2010 Camaro on the showroom floor. It was probably an SS. It was one of the first cars that I ever was excited by. I was probably 7 years old, something like that. Although I was always into cars and just mechanical things in general, I really never got to have any hands-on experience with these things until I started hanging out with Owen and Callum in high school. And I quickly started doing more and more projects. We started out with the mini bikes. We ended up with a Honda S90 project restoration that I was working on. And about a year ago, it started to become clear that I was going to have to get a car. Both Owen and Callum had their Fox Body Mustangs. I really thought that I was going to end up getting a Fox Body Mustang, especially after we went to Motor City Fox Fest, the first one. Seeing all the different variations of the Fox Bodies all next to each other, they're just like, they were so unique. But as Owen and I were taking more photos, we stumbled across one of his favorite cars, a second generation F-body Pontiac Firebird Trans Am. We were taking pictures of it, and I was just looking at it, and I was like, this has got to be the coolest car of all time. I was editing that picture, I was staring at it, and I'm like, this might be my car. That was until M1 Speed Fest at M1 Concourse in Pontiac. We were shooting pictures of these fantastic cars of all different kinds, from the 50s until the 80s and beyond. We shot this very particular car. I saw it go by, and I'm like, what is that? It looked like the Firebird, but it was distinctly different. And Owen was like, oh, that's a second-gen F-body Camaro, Z28. And I'm like, Camaro, huh? So after that, studying the pictures again, I was like, now that's the car. And this was pretty much confirmed for me when on Christmas of last year, Owen presented me with a pamphlet from the International Racing Champions where these second-gen Camaro Z28s were all raced. I was looking through these photos. Okay, this has got to be the car. There's just such a unique history here. And as much as I love Fox bodies, we have two of them. I've had so much experience with them. I gotta get something different. If you know anything about the range that went from 70 to 81, there was an 11-year run, the first few years of the range are very desirable, very expensive. They're the ones with the flat triangle-nosed grille and the circular rear taillights. And then the facelift version in the mid-70s with the chrome 5-mile-an-hour bumper and the quarter-panel taillights in the back. To me, that's just not desirable. The sweet spot for me is the 78 to 81 range. It has the revised plastic front bumper, the light bar across the back, and it's a perfect blend of the 70s beautiful styling with the teardrop shape, but also the gaudy 80s light bar. It was the car that I saw at the track, it was the car that I saw in the IROC pamphlets, and I was going to find something of that kind. I spent every day looking, found several leads. I never really got lucky. When Callum sent a listing, it was for a baby blue 79 car. I couldn't tell exactly which trim it was, but I could tell that it was extraordinarily clean. So I instantly messaged the guy. It had only been listed for a couple hours, and he got back to me, and we had a phone call, and it was priced to sell, as he called it, and everything looked good, everything looked right, and so I knew I had to jump on it. But Owen had just returned back the day prior from going to Tennessee to get his Ford Ranger. I felt really bad asking him to come out and basically make half of the same journey that he made the day previous, but he said yes, and so we went.
That is the face of a man that's about to overload his Atlas towing capacity. Here we go. Okay, we're pulling up. We'll report back soon. Corey.
Excited. I'm so excited. Let's go.
hey, if it passes this test, it's a go. This is a great, solid project car. All the things I'm feeling and re-experiencing are all very easily fixable mechanical stuff.
The floor is like so low. It's like I'm in a muscle car.
We got my man here trying to have a nap. When we got to the car, everything was basically just as described, nothing was off, but we had learned that it had been sitting for several years. So in order to bring it up to drivable standards, we performed some basic maintenance on it just to get it on the road.
Oh! That's transmission fluid! You should have seen how thick and sludgy it was.
Watch this, he said. We are doing a full rear suspension refresh. I think it's going.
I think it now has about to crack.
Here's the old one versus the new one that I was